I'm here with Mr. Ronaldo Brown. We're out. Oh, fucking hell, we're not outside anywhere at the moment, are we? Because we're not at the stadium. But United have drawn 2-2 with Southampton. Opportunity missed.
Definitely, we flopped it, but we kind of. I don't know if we jinxed it or if we just saw it coming, but it's one of them where it was never comfortable the whole time. I was nervous. I barely spoke, and I know you saw how quiet I was. You kind of asked me a few questions, and I was kind of away with the fairies. I just weren't ever comfortable from start to finish. I don't know whether it was the fact that everyone else slipped up and then we were kind of going into it a bit more nervous with the players. Because at first I thought, are the players complacent? But I was thinking, they're not going to be complacent because they should be going into that game raring to go thinking, I need to capitalise on the fact that everyone around us has dropped points. So the only explanation for it is we must have been nervous and we've bottled it. And obviously it's not all...
Strong words to say we bottled it. Is that how you feel?
Nah, it's not all doom and gloom. It's still in our hands. If we win all of our games, we still finish top 4 and it's happy days. So maybe it's just a blip. I don't want to sound a bit too greedy because obviously...
It's hard, innit? Because 18 games unbeaten and it's just a draw.
It's just... it feels like a loss though, but whenever you concede in stoppage time and it's kind of last ditch, you do kind of take it as a loss. It's a massive kick.
We all kind of felt that coming as well, innit?
We kind of did. We was. It's the defensive changes, man. Obviously, I'm not criticising Ollie, I'm not criticising it, but it's one of them, you always have the tendency, if you don't make a defensive change when you're ahead and you concede, then you're in the wrong. If you make defensive changes and then you still concede anyway, then you're still in the wrong. So you can't, I don't know, but I'm just not a fan of defensive changes. I feel like if you make defensive changes, you hand the initiative.
Some of them were forced, especially with Shaw and Brandon Williams.
Yeah, but you still hand the initiative over to the other team and then you invite pressure and then you sit back and then that's what happens. Obviously, some of them were in his control with the injuries, etc.
What did you make of the subs of Bruno and Pogba? Because they weren't forced.
They were leggy though. Like obviously, I'd rather one of them stay on. I don't know. It's been locked down for 3 months. I know they're tired. They've been playing quite a lot recently, but because the games are so important and the fact that there's not that many games left, you've got to. I feel like you stick it out. Just tough it out for the last 20 minutes. I know they did look a bit tired. Pogba looked leggy from the start. Bruno was obviously tired. Probably do need a rest, but with a game as important as that, I would have rather seen at least one of them stay on because I feel like when they came off and then we had no attacking impetus.
Even when we thought when it went 2-2, we were thinking, can we try and get a goal? And they just never had no.
We don't really have the quality on the pitch. Obviously, you look at a few chances that we didn't take. Rashford's one from about 2 yards out that he didn't put away.
Great defensive challenge, I think, but
it's a game of inches, isn't it? It's a game of inches, and we found out the hard way.
Do you still think we'll get top 4?
I'm usually a pessimist, you know. I usually think the worst, so I don't get disappointed. But I'm optimistic. I've seen enough that normally I feel like the last couple of seasons, these are the kind of games that we would have lost. But we've at least got a point, so that it's not all doom and gloom. But I don't know, man. It's going to be nip and tuck. It's going to go down to the last game of the season against Leicester, I think. But I believe in my team, so I'm going to go for it. We'll finish top 4 anyway.
Does Ollie deserve any of the blame for today, or was it just one of those days?
I don't know who you blame. I think it's one of those games where after the dust has settled, you kind of sleep on it, you think about it, and you kind of look where Southampton played well and we didn't play our best. They played well. They were on the front foot from the beginning. They were the team with the impetus. They were more urgency in their play at the start. We needed them to score to kind of wake up, which was similar to.
It's been the same way the last few games, isn't it?
And you can't go into games like that. We need to. What people will say is how a team comes out to start the game and the kind of urgency they have can say a lot about what the manager said or etc. or their team talk or their mentality. It should be on the players to obviously go out and do what they need to do, but the fact that we've gone out flat the first 2 games and kind of need a goal to kind of wake us up, it's not bearing well. But I don't want to be too negative. I think we'll still finish 4.
It's hard to be too negative when you haven't lost and you're on a decent run, but the opportunity was there, and that's why it's such a sucker punch. And I think we're all massively disappointed. Any positives to say from today? Anything that you saw that you thought, you know what?
The positive we can take is, as I've said, we didn't play well. We still scored 2 goals though. So it shows that we've always got an attacking threat. The fact that we turn around a 1-0 to 2-1 so fast shows that we're never out of a game. And when you've got good players and you've got quality up front and you're never out of the game, it's a great asset to have, because in the past when you went 1-0 down, you think, where are we going to get a goal from? Can we get back into it? But now we're always capable of scoring, and that is that positive I'm going to take, that no matter how we're playing, we're dangerous. And that's what I'm going to take. That's the only positive that I can take from today. Obviously, the defence, I thought Lindelof played well, but Maguire wasn't up to par today. I think he was a bit shaky. I'm not happy with his threat in the opposing box.
I know I had expected him to do a bit more.
He came in kind of this meant to be this beast in the box, like aerial, a monster, etc. I've not seen it since he's come. And we've got in Bruno, which is obviously better, because some people might attribute that to the fact we didn't really have a great set-piece taker, but now we have, and he's still not looked like a threat. He's even had crosses put on his head, and he's just hitting it wide. He can't jump. But remember the one that we said, he should have jumped for it? Just little inches like that. The one that he took off Bruno Fernandes' feet.
There's one that they took off Rashford as well. Him and Rashford were the last men through, and he's headed it, and Rashford was right behind him, and you're thinking, why are you getting in the way?
I was thinking, why am I... Just little details, though. These are little details why you end up not winning games, and that's the ones we need to erase. But I'm not gonna slate Maguire. We've defended well. And in the past, couple months, not a couple months, but since we've returned. So I don't want to slate him too much. But today he wasn't up to par. We just didn't look like we ever had control of the game. It felt like we was always teetering on the edge. And those are the games where when you go a goal up and you go into the second half, someone needs to grab hold of the game, grab it by the scruff of the neck, take control, and you're on our field, you're on Old Trafford, you ain't getting back in the game, and we let them back in. We did,
and unfortunately our best players didn't have the greatest games today. Although Martial did all right, it was the only one that really did perform, him and Rashford. Anyway, Ronnie, any final words before you shoot?
We'll still finish top 4 and up the Reds.
Cheers, man.
See you in a bit.